Earlier, I spoke with Secretary of Labor Lori Chavez-DeRemer on the government shutdown. Please take a listen. Madam Secretary, thanks for joining us. What can't the Labor Department do under the shutdown than it could before?
Well, several things. One of the things that we've been focused on is registering apprenticeships. That was an executive order by the president, 1 million active apprentices across this country. We had registered over 220,000 since the president took office, and now we've had to come to a stop in registering those apprenticeships with not only the public sector, but the private sector as well. And that's been disappointing to want to get to that 1 million active apprentices for the skilled workforce.
And also, you cannot assemble statistics that many in the private and public sector rely upon.
Absolutely. It's one of the things that this country and the markets rely on is the Bureau of Labor Statistics to release that report every single month, the first Friday of every month, something that I go out into the public and talk about. You know, I get that report 1 hour prior, and we were not able to get our hands on that report this time. And that essentially then affects
and first-time jobless claims and related data.
Absolutely. I think the modernization, the streamlining of those reports, accurate data points, whether it affects businesses, interest rates, the markets themselves, it's an important piece of information that we can have access to that now we don't have because of the shutdown.
How many furloughed employees at the Labor Department right now? And do you expect when the shutdown ends, as we know it will, eventually they all do, they'll all be back paid?
Well, this is what we know. During the beginning of the Trump administration, we had volunteers who determined that they didn't want to continue working. During this shutdown, we are going to have to furlough lots of employees. Essential employees will continue working to service the American people, whether it's our enforcement departments, when we're talking about wage and hour, unemployment insurance, those types of essential workforce need to stay on in the Secretary's office. But we need to get this government back to work for the American people for lots of those reasons that I mentioned. And in previous shutdowns, we've seen that there has been back pay. What ends up moving forward, the quickest way to get people paid is to get back to work. And the Democrats really need to vote on this CR and get people back to work.
The reason I ask is there has been a law, the Government Employee Fair Treatment Act, 2019, passed in the Trump administration, signed by President Trump, first time around, that guarantees back pay. But there's an Office of Management and Budget memo going around now that creates some doubt about that. What's your knowledge of this situation? I
haven't seen that memo from Russ Vought at the OMB. I know he's instrumental in the decisions that the president is working with through the executive branch. When Congress failed to do their job, the process is it goes to the executive branch, and the president is leading this executive branch. So I'm sure they're going to have conversations. What we do want to do is open the government and get people paid for the work that they're doing, because we're going to see across this country, people are working and they're not getting paid. We're going to see people working, Border Patrol, ICE agents, who might get some pay. That's concerning for the American people when they're going to pay their mortgages, their car payments, their utility bills, provide for their families. We want the American people back to work.
What is your sense, Madam Secretary, of the job market in America today? There are reports consistently, private sector generated, meaning ADP, Bureau of Labor Statistics before the shutdown, labor market softening. There's a kind of phraseology that goes around, no hire, no fire.
Well, I can tell you this, the momentum has been great. Since the president took office, private sector jobs, probably a little bit older statistic, 84% of the jobs that were created were all in the private sector. I'm sure that that's been updated, probably even higher. What we saw was the public sector take a hit in those jobs, federal government jobs. But that's the exciting part, that we're seeing native-born Americans take these jobs. 2 million plus jobs were created, all American-born. The private sector was booming, the blue-collar boom. We're seeing the trades boom. The president has had these trade talks for fair trade across the board, for the implementation and the investments of the American workforce. So my focus has been, how do we grow this economy? How do we have more people in the workforce who are our tradesmen and women, our electricians, our manufacturers, our high-tech, electricians? All of that across the board is what I've been focused on. And now that has come to a screeching halt because the Make America Skilled Again, the focus there has all been come to a halt. We want to get those dollars out to our respective states, and now we're going to be at a standstill.
And the data that suggests manufacturing has shrunk in the Trump administration 2.0?
Well, what the Trump administration has been focused on is the onshoring and reshoring of manufacturing. Shipbuilding, 250,000 new jobs over 10 years, 25,000 jobs a year is what we need
Meaning
in shipbuilding.
they'll come in the future, they haven't come yet.
Absolutely. We have to do the investments now. It's going to take time. I mean, it's silly to think from what we inherited from the Biden administration that we're going to just turn it on and turn off. But what we can't do is take our foot off the gas. That's where the American people, I think, I know, voted for this president because of the belief in the American economy, America First policies, that he was going to put the American worker first. And that's what we've been doing. And we've seen that through consumer confidence. We've seen that in unemployment rate holding steady. We've seen that in the more money being spent. Consumer spending has gone up. We've seen real wages have gone up. So this shutdown is not doing any good, and it's bringing all of that. I mean, GDP, they were expecting, what, 1% growth, 3.8%? Right. And now this might take a hit. We don't want to see a standstill in the American economy. We want to see continuing growth and investment.
Madam Secretary, before I let you go, and I hope you'll come back.
I would love to.
The Democrats on the Senate Help Committee, Health, Education, Labor, Pensions, fed ChatGPT a question about the future of artificial intelligence and the American workforce. And it came back with this answer. Artificial intelligence and automation could replace nearly 100 million jobs over the next 10 years, including 89% of fast food and counter workers, 64% of accountants, and 47% of truck drivers.
Well,
do you think that's true?
Well, I don't know if that's true or not from ChatGPT, but here's what I do know.
Does that alarm you?
Well,
even the potentiality of that?
Well, the potentiality should be, how do we retrain the workforce? How do we upskill the workforce? We saw that in the industrial age. We see that in the technology age, the computer age. Things will change. But AI is here to stay, and we want to make sure that our workforce has the tools that they need. And that was one of the things that the president has done. We have an AI task force. I sit on the subcommittee of that task force to make sure that we are working with our respective states to get in the dollars that they need so that we have our workforce proficient and literate in AI. That's what this government shutdown is doing. We're not able to continue on that road, and we want to make sure that we are AI dominant compared to every other country in the world. That's what the president's asking for, so we need to get back to work. You know, I was a member of Congress. I voted 5 times for a continuing resolution under the Biden administration of 2023 levels. This is their funding, and you mean to tell me they can't do this? They know they can do it. They're playing political games. I find that unfortunate on the backs of the American people. So I want to get back to work. I want to get back to work for the American people, and the American people are expecting government to work for them.
Madam Secretary, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Please come back.
Of course.